I want to talk to you about law firm public relations, and this is a comprehensive guide into the whole concept. Okay, so long story short, when you think about law firm PR, I want you to think about differentiation. I want you to think about reputation building. I want you to think about monetization because you have your law firm is actually competing in a very crowded space right now. Especially you can have actually a competition from overseas law firms also, not just the law firms in your area. So the geography doesn't play a role anymore, unfortunately or fortunately, depending on how you look at it. So in today's competitive legal landscape, even the most skilled lawyers find themselves struggling to stand out from the crowd, right? Despite their expertise and dedication, potential clients are not reaching out and their reputation remains unchanged. And the culprit, often it comes down to ineffective law firm public relation strategies. So your PR must actually be effective and efficient. And you got to have a method, you got to have a strategy. So if you're thinking about a methodical way of actually going about law firm PR, you always have to really understand that it has to be consistent and it has to be contextual, not geography based. It has to be contextual. Contextual means what? You got to really pay instead of thinking about geography, like your location. It has to be more contextual in the sense that you have to be based on chronology and also based on the demographics. Demographics in terms of the clients you are going after, the clients you are targeting, and contextual in the sense of chronology. What I'm trying to say here is that the kind of PR you plan around Christmas, it should not be the same thing should not be the same thing as the PR campaign that you plan around summer months or fall, right? It has to be contextual. A firm's success ultimately hinges on its reputation in the public eye. And more than ever before, legal professionals must play a proactive part in shaping this image. And while that's traditionally meant crafting press releases for announcements and attending industry events, the scope of law firm public relations has widened significantly, in our view, in recent years. And so basically in today's conversation, I'll explain to you step by step what you have to do to make sure that you actually stand out from a very, very crowded field. So let's talk about law firm public relations. Let's have a clear idea. I really want to really go granular because it's an important element. Everything starts with you understanding in all granularity the concept of law firm PR. And law firm PR is definitely different from other forms of PR, even though you can apply certain context to it, but it's really, really particular. And law firm public relations is about strategically shaping how others perceive your firm. Let me repeat that. Law firm public relations, it's about strategically shaping how others perceive your firm. Now, strategy here means what? That you have to actually do things methodically. You can't just let things happen to your firm randomly, right? You have to go about it and you have to be consistent in how you actually shape how you want others to see, to perceive your firm. And law firm public relations includes various channels. So you have press releases, events, blogs, byline articles, and podcast appearances. You know, back in the days, 20 years ago, 40 years ago, 30 years ago, law firm PR was all about press releases. But nowadays, in a very crowded field, you got to really incorporate other activities such as events, blogs, byline articles. And by the way, when I talk about events, you are talking about, it can be any type of event. It can be a networking event, you know, ABA events. It can be anything, you know, local bar, luncheons, whatever. Any strategy, any opportunity for your law firm to actually be mentioned in the news is a great initiative. So effective law firm public relations can bring visibility to a firm, enhance its reputation, attract prospective clients, and strengthen relationships with existing ones. Because the thing is that if you want to actually reduce your CPA, your cost, your cost per acquisition, if you want to actually reduce your CPA in the long run, you want to really take care of your existing clients, because just spending thousands of dollars in acquiring a client and then losing that client after 2 or 3 months, it's not going to be helpful and profitable to your company, to your practice in the long run. So let's talk about the benefits of law firm public relations. It's important to understand that everything has to have a positive economic value for it to be sustainable. In other words, the ROI has to be positive. The return on investment has to be positive. If you have to sustain it, if you have to maintain it, if you have to convince partners, law firm partners, that it is really worth it. Okay. Bill Gates captured the power of public relations best when he said, "If I was down to my last dollar, I will spend it on public relations." Think about that. You may actually be running one of the most client-centered law firms, but if the public doesn't know about it, growth will not be easy. Because see, the whole thing is when you're running a law firm, it's all about scalability, right? I mean, you could be making $1 million today or $1 billion today for that matter. But if you're not having a scalability point of view, 5 years from now, 10 years from now, your law firm will be history. Will be relegated into competitive oblivion. So basically, growth is an important element. So law firm public relations is really an integral tool for amplifying your achievements and showcasing your expertise to your wider audience. You have to constantly think about actually amplifying your target audience. And let me give you a few handful of reasons why you should make law firm public relations a priority. Basically, you are able to gain greater visibility. You are able to build credibility. You are able to safeguard your reputation. Very important. If you remember, I started today's conversation by talking about reputation. You are able to attract new clients, and you are able to boost search rankings and do this in a very consistent manner. So when I talk about gaining greater visibility, law firm PR can help your firm stand out in a crowded market, ensuring potential clients know about your services and strengths. In terms of credibility, positive media coverage instills trust among both existing clients and prospects. When it comes to safeguarding your reputation, when a reputational crisis strikes, public relations is crucial for managing and shaping public perception of your firm. And in terms of attracting new clients, by shining a light on your firm's expertise and successes, law firm PR campaigns can attract new clients and drive revenue. That's what I was talking about a little earlier when I said scalability actually is important. It's quite essential, by the way. And you are able to also boost search rankings. So building a robust online presence by sharing content across platforms can positively impact your firm's search engine rankings, your SERPs. I want to talk to you about effective channels for a law firm public relations, because see, I was talking to you a little earlier about having a method, right? You gotta be methodical in actually instilling a sense of granularity, a sense of purpose in your law firm public relations. But you can't do that if you don't have the right strategy, especially when it comes to choosing the proper effective channels. So these days, when we talk about law firm public relations, you can have a variety of forms, a variety of methodologies, a variety of conduits, a variety of efficiency channels. But the thing is that you got to choose 2 or 3 or 4 that work for you, because you can't really actually, you cannot stretch yourself too thin, because you got to think about cash inflows versus cash outflows. This is how you analyze your law firm public relations ROI, your return on investment. So when we talk about choosing 2 or 3 channels, this is kind of cool, because you can really focus your PR dollars on specific channels and really find a way to actually monetize your firm a lot better. So when we talk about law firm PR, you can try press releases and media pitches, social media, or a speaking engagement and thought leadership opportunities. And so let me break it down for you. So when we talk about press releases and media pitches are key to the success of your public relations efforts by identifying newsworthy stories like a new law firm announcement or partner hire and crafting a compelling press release to pitch to the media. Firms can actually capture their audience's attention. You have social media. You can build a strong online presence across platforms like LinkedIn, X, formerly known as Twitter, and Instagram. So you are able to create a stronger connection with clients, and you are able to humanize your law firm. Focusing on creating highly engaging content such as explainer videos or thought-provoking articles Using hashtags strategically and leveraging graphical elements like infographics can help you actually be discovered. Okay, you are able to engage more with the public. Also, speaking engagement and thought leadership opportunities are really fantastic. Law firms can position themselves as industry leaders by participating in conferences, panels, and webinars. By showcasing their expertise and networking with peers and clients, they will elevate their profile and unlock new business opportunities. Let's talk about measuring success in law firm public relations. And again, it's important to understand that everything should be done in a scalable manner. You got to think about scalability. So throughout your law firm's public relations journey, you need to identify what's working and what is not. It's all about benchmarking. It's all about scalability, but from a benchmarking perspective. And so this is where measurement comes in. So a number of metrics will provide insights that empower you to refine your strategies, better allocate resources, and demonstrate ROI. And so keep track of this key performance indicators, these KPIs, as a starting point for your law firm public relations campaign. We're going to put this KPI on the screen. There are 5 of them. They're really powerful. So you have media impressions, you have share of voice, you have engagement metrics, you have conversion rates, and you have website traffic. Let me repeat them. Media impressions, share of voice, engagement metrics, conversion rates, and website traffic. So when we talk about media impressions, the total number of views or listens to media content such as ads or articles across various platforms. The share of voice, so how prominently your law firm is featured in the media compared to competitors. So the share of voice is really critical. You have engagement metrics, interactions like likes, mentions, shares, comments, and retweets reveal how engaged users are with your content on social media platforms. Conversion rates, the percentage of users who take a desired action after interacting with a piece of content or a marketing campaign. And also the website traffic, so the volume of visitors and visits your website receives over actually a certain period, okay? And it has to be very specific. So those are the 5 KPIs that will help actually your law firm actually shine over time. And if done properly, you are able to track things in a very streamlined manner. So when we talk about law firm public relations, you can't really forget about crisis management. So when we talk about navigating crisis management in the legal industry, you got to go back to what I said a little earlier in terms of being methodical. You have to have a method. You have to have an approach to managing those crises. And you know, the Lord knows that you are going to have a crisis in your practice. It's just part of life. Okay, so no matter how diligent you are, crisis can be inevitable in a law firm. While that may seem intimidating, a little bit of preparation can go a long way in safeguarding your reputation and maintaining client trust. So, but it's one of those things where you have to have the strategy before the crisis erupts. Don't start thinking about the strategy when there is a crisis. No, think now that there is no crisis now. Hopefully in your practice operations, take the time now to think about things beforehand. Okay, that's why it's important to set aside time now to anticipate potential crisis, develop a crisis communication plan, and appoint a response team. This will buttress your strategy and will actually solidify your law firm public relations. When we talk about anticipating potential crisis, basically that could be a data breach, malpractice allegation, or regulatory compliance issue. You want to carve out time to create strategies to tackle each scenario. So by proactively assessing your risks and having plans in place, you'll be able to move quickly to mitigate negative repercussions if the time comes. You also want to develop a crisis communications plan. So basically, the plan should outline clear protocols and responsibilities for responding to crisis. It should also have pre-approved messaging templates to ensure a consistent and coordinated response. And you want to have that response in place. Also, you want to appoint a response team. So effective media management requires timely and transparent communication. That's why your law firm should have a dedicated spokesperson or dedicated spokespersons who are trained in speaking with the media and taking interviews, right? And it's important to have somebody who has a clear idea of what he or she is saying, or at least of what he or she should be saying to the media. So when we talk about law firm public relations, here are some strategic tips so that you can really actually buttress your law firm PR. So it's important to really understand that you can actually do things yourself, or you can actually partner with a public relations agency so that you can actually get things done properly. The thing is that a lot of law firms don't have the resources, the time, or the expertise to set up a PR in-house. And most of the time, it's not really worth it, actually, because PR shouldn't be something that you have to do 24/7. 24/7, you should be actually increasing the number of billable hours, not actually running PR. So PR should be seen as as a quintessential back office function. So you can actually just partner with a PR agency to kind of help you in terms of your strategy, your communication strategy going forward. And the right agency can significantly impact your visibility, credibility, and overall success. And remember that visibility, credibility, and overall success actually will beef up your reputation, your practice's reputation big time. So be sure to consider the following factors before selecting a law firm public relations agency. We're going to put this on the screen again. Here we have five criteria. We're going to put this on the screen so you have industry experience, reputation, measurement, media relationships, and also budget and resources. So in terms of industry experience, look for agencies with a proven track record of working with law firms. Experience in the legal field ensures that they have a solid understanding of its nuances and challenges. In terms of reputation, research the agency's reputation within the industry and among its clients. Testimonials, case studies, and awards are all useful for gauging an agency's credibility and effectiveness. Also think about measurement. Find out how the firm measures the results of its campaigns and which KPIs it uses to track success. That's going to help you a lot in terms of looking at the pros and cons of a campaign. In terms of media relationships, ask about the agency's relationships with journalists, editors, and any influencers relevant to your legal practice area. In terms of budget and resources, consider your budget constraints and ensure the agency can deliver value within your financial parameters. Moreover, you want to assess the agency's resources like staff expertise and technology. It's an important element. And so that will help you actually grow your PR, your law firm PR, significantly along the way. So here's a recap here. In today's conversation, I gave you a comprehensive guide to law firm public relations. I gave you the long story short, the short version of things, and also the strategic tips. Thank you so much. God bless you. I'll see you next time. Until then, remember, stay marvelous.